What is good, guys, ladies and gentlemen? We got him. We got him. Yo, this is your boy King. We're back again today, guys. I'm about to check out this the dangerous rise of Mr. Andrew Tate, guys. Vice special report, Vice on demand. Call it what you will. Let's check it out. Oh, alrighty. All right.
Why some people who you've never heard of before, all of a sudden, appear everywhere.
Andrew Tate!
Emery.
Andrew Tate is an Anglo-American kickboxer turned influencer who's
Okay, that's how you know this is like way off. Man said Anglo, bro. Why do you have to Anglo-American, bro? Why don't you just say English-American? Why do you have to spice it up like that, bro? This man is on it, bro. He's on it. He said, I did my research. English? That is basic grammar. I said Anglo. Anglo.
misogynist videos have helped make him the most.
Man said extreme. I said it's not even like most of his videos that were public. It's not even that. It's not. You can't even call it that. That's a disservice to actual people who are extreme, misogynists. That's mad.
Viral man in the world.
Bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck.
Brad, this was, I think at this point a lot of people have seen this video. This is the video where he was talking about, what he would do if, I think it was if a lady broke into his house. He said, bro, there'll be no fight because I've got machetes everywhere. I've got, I'm 4-time kickboxing world champion. I can defend myself. So he gave that scenario, that stupid scenario, and then he followed on to make these gestures. But still, he was talking about defending himself.
Shut up, bitch!
On December 29th, he and his brother
It's
were
mad,
arrested
though.
by Romanian
This man's
police
finished.
as part of a rape and human trafficking
Yeah,
investigation.
he's finished.
The Matrix has attacked me.
He's finished. He's not coming out. He's not coming out. Guys, close the book and throw it away. Close the door, lock it, throw away the key. He's done. He's finished. His career is over. His career is finished. There's no recovery from this. You cannot recover from this. Even if man busts case, even if he managed to prove that his innocence, the image is tarnished at this point. It is crazy, and now UK schools are bringing up classes to re-educate and reprogram kids who obviously listen to his content and listen to his TikToks, follow his pages and whatnot. So yeah, they see this man as a big threat to the West. So yeah.
Months before their arrest,
Mazza.
I was in Romania trying to get access to their so-called secret society,
Yay!
the War Room.
The War Room is the most powerful network on the face of the planet today.
To get inside,
That's a bit sus. That's a bit it's a bit mad.
I had agreed to endure a professional cage fight in Romania,
I know he's gonna lose, but wow, he's actually in there.
along with 100 Tate superfans.
We shouldn't be slaves. We shouldn't be working 9-to-5 jobs.
Bro, I need to get better. I need to evolve.
I'm not tough on myself. Nobody else will be.
That's
That's what I learned
facts.
from Andrew Tate.
This chain, hold on to it.
What I found out
My plan was to sow anarchy.
is that this recent arrest appears to be just the tip of the iceberg.
This is definitely a hit piece.
I don't care.
And this is funny because that clip, my plan was to sow anarchy. That clip was taken from his Big Brother. When he was in Big Brother, he was talking about his experience in Big Brother. So it's not about talking about the world. And they've obviously clipped it up in such a way to make it seem like it's talking about the world. But it was to sow anarchy in the Big Brother house because obviously you want to divide and conquer, as one does, the art of war. So this is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. It's obviously a hit piece, but from what I've heard, a few people who've seen it have told me it's they did a good job at the hit piece. So I'm looking forward to this, man. As a hit piece, it's doing well so far. I'm enjoying myself.
The
I'm enjoying
real
myself.
story
We've clearly conquered the internet.
began years ago.
There's not a single female complaining on the planet.
there's not a single female complaining?
Have you seen one? Tell me.
My ex-boyfriend was radicalized by Andrew Tate.
That's a radicalized.
He was sweet and I guess vulnerable to being brainwashed by Andrew Tate and his cult.
Mad. So better brainwashed by you, so you can slave away at your every whim, than to be a slave of Mr. Tate here. This is the key thing about life that people need to understand. In essence, you're going to be a slave to something. You just have to pick what that is. And if that thing makes you a better person and brings you joy and makes you, achieve the goals you want to achieve, it works for you. If it doesn't do those things, then you're following the wrong thing. Facts.
People don't know what he's
I think she was just upset that she was getting left because my man was not willing to put up with the BS anymore.
done.
They didn't just rise. It was a rise, man. My man, he told us his plan. His plan was global conquest. In the Cheyenne interview, he said, my plan is global conquest. And that's what he was trying to do, man. That's what he was trying to do. His whole organization, the War Room, HU, it is all made for the express purpose of gaining him friends and colleagues who have money and who are or will be in powerful positions in the future to allow him to have more, influence and control. So if he needs things, bam, 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 you can get them like that. So, yeah, man, it was a good plan. But all this other stuff on the side, man, that messed it up. All up. Messed it up.
If you haven't heard of Andrew Tate yet, it's only a matter of time before he pops up on your newsfeed.
Facts.
His videos have been viewed over 11 billion times, and in July he was more Googled than Kim Kardashian and Donald Trump. He's been called the king of toxic masculinity.
He has said that rape victims should, quote, bear responsibility for being raped.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that, bro?
We're about to enter his compound in Romania, which was raided earlier this year as part of the rape and human trafficking investigation that led to his arrest in 2022.
Is that true that you sequestered an American girl?
She's not even pretty. This girl's average. She's ugly. I don't have time for this bullshit.
What about the rape accusation?
That's not true at all.
Hello, is this Andrew Tate's house? I'm Matt.
Okay.
Man's very inconspicuous.
Just a second to have a confirmation from Mr. Tate.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you just let me know when we're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Good to see you.
This place is
Yeah,
giant.
man's
Yeah, I can
happy.
give you a quick tour. I can't show you a lot of it. A lot of it's like off limits, but I can show you some
Okay.
of it. G, come bite them. Show them how scary you are.
Is this the normal level of security you have for your house every day, or is this just for us?
This
or?
is the normal level of security I have in my house every day. I am prepared for all eventualities. It's better to be
Man
paranoid.
said he's prepared
I
for
kinda
all
like
eventualities, but when the police came, he was like, yeah, I'm going. Take me in. No resistance whatsoever. And again, like, if there was resistance, man would be finished. But there's no resistance because he understands his position. And I'm pretty sure in his mind, obviously, he's innocent. That could be one of two things. He could actually be innocent, but, who knows?
I can tell, yeah.
He's definitely guilty of something. That might be the money laundering, tax evasion, defrauding his webcam models. One of the charges is gonna stick. I guarantee you. It might not be the R charge, but one of the charges is gonna stick because I will be immensely impressed if nothing sticks. If nothing sticks.
This door leads to... I can't take you in there. That's classified. Up
Yeah.
on there, can't take you.
He's guessing it. That there's classified. He's bragging.
There either. It's classified. You do know if you go to any off-limit areas.
Man said 007 on their shirts, bro. That's mad, you know.
Security you're going to intercept. So when I point classified, I'm basically saying don't make them put a gun in your face.
Got it.
TV, which I never watch. World title belts. I was 4-time kickboxing world champion.
And what's...
I love how he man said that with his chest. I was 4-time kickboxing world champion. Yeah.
this painting over here?
That's my brother.
Who else lives here? Is it just you?
No, I live here with my brother.
Bro, even the pictures that are zooming in on some sinister angles, bro. They look devious,
You get the
bro.
best version of yourself if you live with other competitive men. I
That's true.
don't have loser friends. I like sitting down with people and discussing how we can make money from the conflict in Ukraine. That's what I enjoy. I don't want to talk about TV.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Hi, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Man's like, who are you talking to? Stop trying to be cordial, bro. This is not your house. That's my woman. What are you doing? Stop.
Georgia, good to meet you. What are you up to, Georgia?
Working.
My guy's like, enough of this BS. Stop it. Bro.
This is,
That's my...
The woman I'm trying to speak to, Georgiana Noghel, would also later be arrested with Tate in December,
Georgiana, 2 coffees, please.
accused of assisting him in his human trafficking operation.
If you guys have seen, actually, I was watching this show earlier downstairs, Sky Rojo. This is pretty much what's being accused, and these girls, Luana and Georgiana, they would be the accomplices, like the lady he has in Skyroho, the main bad guy, who helps, get all the other ladies in check.
Hey, how's it going? Hi. Hey, how are you? What are
Luke.
these guys up to?
Conquering the world, my friend.
Through what
We're working away.
means?
I run Hustlers University, which is now currently the biggest online educational platform in the world. We've grown extremely fast. We have 110,000 students inside of a year.
Hustlers University. Hustlers University. Hustlers University.
For $49 a month, Andrew Tate's online Hustlers University promises to teach his millions of followers the secrets of modern wealth creation, from crypto trading to drop shipping.
No big deal, just the biggest online school in history.
Is this a sharp sword or is it kind of a decorative sword?
I did a Tate speech about why I have this sword. A Tate speech is like my YouTube channel, Tate Speech.
Yeah.
And I talked about how
This guy's hilarious,
the number
man.
one problem with the
He's
world is that
he's
not enough men
bragging,
walk
he's
around their houses with
braggadocious.
swords.
That's up there for sure.
Because if more men walked around their houses with swords, so many of the world's issues could be fixed. But you have to extrapolate it.
Okay.
For example, so the woman panics, she sees something on TV, the man comes home, she's like, oh, we gotta start wearing a mask, da-da-da. If the man walked around with a sword, and she's like, put a mask on, he'd be like, I'm brave, I don't need a mask, I'm a commander. It's just a symbol of empowerment.
El Capitan.
You got your sword, your wife starts talking, you're like, shut up, I decide what I do. Be quiet, cook.
Andrew's unashamed, misogynistic, and violent views so...
Man said violent views, bro. Where's the violence part? I don't understand, man. I actually don't understand. Like, it's so weird, because at this point, I have done my due diligence, man. I have done my due diligence, and the violent part, I'm not. That's the part I'm missing. Especially when he's in the public eye. He hasn't really done anything violent. Behind the scenes, who knows? I'm not here to speak for this man's behind the scenes. But in front of the camera, nothing violent really
far
occurred.
seem to match his YouTube persona. But to find out how he's translated those into viral fame, I accept an invite onto the Tate Brothers podcast, Emergency Meeting, which is also a chance to get acquainted with his brother Tristan.
Welcome to Emergency Meeting, episode 13. We have a special guest,
Matt Shea, who is internationally renowned and respected. He's a folk singer, and he's going to sing us a song.
Andrew's invited his mate on our show without my consent. I'm just going to have to bite my tongue and listen to you guys talk most of this emergency meeting. Otherwise, I'm going to walk off.
Matt, can you introduce yourself? Tell him about your singing.
If my man is truly a criminal, which at some point he was a criminal by his own admission, but if he's still a criminal and he will be tried as a criminal, then this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. Holy, man. Yo, Tristan was on it, bro. He's like, this is some dumb shit.
Career, tell him where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm actually not a folk singer at all in the slightest. No, sorry.
What?
Are you calling my brother a liar?
You lied to me.
Case, yes.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen the clown that hides from gay people? Have you seen him?
No, I haven't seen the clown that hides the gay
So
people.
you've never seen him?
No.
Strange.
Is he here somewhere?
Strange. Well, yeah, he's right here. I see him.
I see him.
All right, let's be nice to our vice friend. So let me be nice to him.
This is definitely a hit
Bro, they said I see him.
piece. I've warned my brother that this is a setup. And this
Facts.
I don't care. I'm uninterested. I've clearly conquered the internet. I'm clearly unstoppable. I'm like the board.
You've invited the liberal news media to come
They
talk
can
in our
all
lives.
come. Just because I'm wearing a gun, I'm violent. Is that how it is? Just because I got knives all over the table and I'm a kickboxing world champion, I'm violent.
If you are wearing a gun and you have knives, that does make you a little bit violent.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Makes me security aware.
I don't want to
Sing
sing a song.
I haven't
Sing
said
like you promised.
Bruh. And it's so funny about the timing of all this, man. Obviously, if you guys, if you watch Jedediah Bila, she had a little segment where she was talking about this, and one of the guys from the war room who was on it, he stated that he was around when Matt Shea was about, and when he was doing his filming and whatnot for the whole event. And he said that, look, up until, like, after he did everything, he was really impressed with everything that he was doing, how, the program was helping people and da-da-da-da. But then, as he was about to finish and wrap up, he got a call from his, superiors, and they're telling him, look, you gotta do something about it. And he looked visibly, like, distressed about, what he was talking about. So, hence, the whole documentary did not air until now, because they wanted to obviously frame it as a hit piece. And then whenever news came out, news broke that this man was going down, that's when they're probably on him like, hey, remember that? Add this stuff in, and let's go and let's just throw this out now. This is perfect timing. So, hey, they got eyeballs on it. They did their job, as journalists do, but is it credible? Who knows?
Set up. I won't kick Vice out of my house. I think.
A few more minutes, or are we done with it?
No. You can sing now, or you're off the pod.
During an ad break, Andrew breaks character.
30-second break.
And that is the key that might get him exonerated, especially on the self-snitching side of things. Because if it's that self-snitching, man, bro, you're finished. But when he said, look at his face, man is concerned, bro. He is concerned. But he's like, bro, this guy's crazy. But when he breaks character, and this guy clearly states he breaks character for a second, it goes to show that he's putting on a persona. And if this is taken, bro, they could have actually inadvertently given him a leg up in saying that this is a character. Because now he can use this and say, look, even the reporter guy said it is a character. And I, myself, I'm playing a character. And you can see me off the camera. I'm just normal and relaxed and chill.
Shit. Another 5 minutes and we'll get you out of here. You can talk shit back. You can
see? This is what I'm saying. Like, he's like, bro, this clip right here just defends him itself.
Don't worry, no, I know. I'm just not.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
We've had a long career. We have to do our normal broadcasting.
Okay.
Kick him off the pod. Cool, man. Have fun, guys. Yeah.
Bro, this is going to be the worst documentary about us.
What they gonna say?
I don't know.
He has lots of cars and money. All the women love him. He's sexist. Oh no, please don't put that on the internet. Who cares, right? Whatever.
Within minutes of being on their show, the Tate content machine snaps into action. Oh yeah. Wow. Already.
Wow.
You promised to sing to me. If you think I won't kick Vice out of my house, you can sing now or you're off the phone.
Tate brothers embarrass Vice reporter.
Actually, I take that back. I want to make sure that my army's fighting, ethically and following the...
18,000 likes, 246 comments, 66...
Your man's just doing his job, man. He's trying to eat.
Liked it.
If you had to go to war, would you call your friends?
Let's see what people are saying. Tate win, as always.
Commentate W.
Over weak men's arguments.
That shit crazy.
It isn't Tate posting all these videos, so who are all these people? Tate Brothers Embarrassed Vice Reporter was posted by a fan account that has 58,000 followers and 3.9 million likes and is just posting loads of videos every single day. Right in the description of his account it says, looking to level up your life, start here. It's a sign-up link to the Hustlers University. Another account, and again, a link to the Hustlers University. He's got a clever formula here. It turns out a big part of Hustlers University is an affiliate marketing scheme where
Man said big part. It's actually a small part because not many people actually used it.
Boys as young as 13 are instructed to share controversial videos of Andrew with links to the Hustlers University underneath. If someone signs up through your link, you get 48% of their subscription fee. By financially incentivizing 110,000 students to share his content online, Andrew has essentially built an army to make him rich and famous in a very short space of time. And he's tactically avoiding the impact of social media bans because it isn't Andrew himself posting, it's his legion of fans.
All I'm doing is saying that the shit that everyone thinks isn't allowed to say. So that's the reason I'm all big on the internet.
I'm starting to wonder whether he's just a living meme.
You're a loser with your mentality.
He is actually just a living... He's a meme. This guy is a meme. This guy is a meme.
Some kind of viral marketing campaign to swindle money from confused young men.
You never had the life I
Man says swindle money. Again, like, it's funny because it's marketing tactics used to obviously to enrich himself. But at the end of the day, like, if you apply the things that are being taught in HU, you'll be more successful than you were before. And that's just plain facts. And again, the reason people pay for courses, even Alex Hormozi talks about this, multi-millionaire, worth hundreds of millions, he talks about this. You pay for the convenience of the information. The information is available to you in such an easy, digestible manner that it's easy for you to learn in a quick amount of time, avoiding the mistakes that other people make. And the fact that you're in a place with 110,000 people who share the same common goal as you, some of those people might be ahead of you in that journey, and you might be able to seek advice from some of those people when you're on that same path. Like, how did you avoid this? How did you avoid that? How did you avoid this? Like, it helps you make yourself better in the long run if that is the path you want to go down, the path of making money online. So again, call it scamming if you don't use it as it should be, and you whine about getting scammed. It's like, bro, it's like, why would you go to university, and actually university, not study, and then cry that they stole 9,000 from you? They didn't. You just didn't do what you're supposed to do when you got there. Simple facts, bro.
If he really believes what he says.
All I am offering is the truth.
I said I'm Morpheus. That's crazy. That shit is wild.
Andrew first appeared on our screens as a reality TV star.
I've never been in a situation in my life so far, in my 21 years, where I really wanted something and didn't get it.
He had found an arena where controversial personalities thrive.
I have to manipulate a lot of people to win.
But something happened when Andrew was on Big Brother, one of the biggest reality
That's a big
TV
brain
shows of all time.
Yeah.
This is Big Brother. Due to events in the outside world, Andrew has had to leave the Big Brother house.
He was reportedly removed from the program when a video surfaced of him slapping his ex-girlfriend and then beating her with a belt.
Hey, stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen? No. Did I say it?
Public outrage simmered down after Andrew released a video of his ex, claiming it was all part of a so-called kinky game.
It was just pure game. It's just what we used to do.
But what the public didn't know, and what we can now reveal, is that around the time that Andrew was playing Truth or Dare in the Big Brother pool, the UK police had informed the production company that he was under investigation for 2 incidents involving other women. One of rape, and a further of physical assault. In May 2021, Tate made reference to his arrest in an appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
And I was like, who are you? And they're like, you're under arrest for a suspicion of assault of this dumb hoe. And I'm like, wait, this is dumb hoe?
This is what... This was the accused who said punched in the arm.
They didn't, but I'm going to protect her anonymity because I'm a nice guy. Dumb hoe.
During this same period, the Tate brothers were recruiting women for a webcam sex business and creating the first of their many online courses teaching other men how to do the same.
I am.
Yeah, this is where the case will be so bad for him in terms of when he goes to court. Like, bro, this is like self-snitching 101. Like, you are stating with facts what you are doing or arguably doing. But again, the fact that he stated that this is a character, he could then lean on that this is a character, this is a persona argument.
It doesn't matter if
But if they don't get him on this, bro, they're getting him on tax evasion, they're getting him on... I don't know if they can substantiate the criminal organization part and the R charge, so they might just get him on the money tax evasion or money laundering part.
I'm her everything. She has nowhere else to go.
It was called the Tate PhD, or pimping hose degree.
She was a hoe. I spotted it instantly because she didn't humble herself
That's
like she was
wild.
supposed to. And I'm glad I didn't waste any more time on her because she's never going to be doing like my other girls do, living in my house, letting me fuck other women, remaining loyal, and bringing me coffees and doing as I say.
Andrew has closed down the pimping hose degree to focus on the Hustlers University.
Luke, your screen's compromised, yeah? So keep it super fucking vanilla.
But with a historic rape allegation in the UK, and the Romanian police now looking into him for rape and human trafficking, I want to find out more about his methods of recruiting women.
There we go.
Did you at one point say that the girls who started as your girlfriends and then worked for the webcam industry, 100% of the profit goes to you?
I think in a lot of households in the world today, the man is in charge of the investments. I think that's not an uncommon thing. Tell me a view I have that you think is genuinely insulting or destructive to society. I'd like to hear it.
You prefer younger women who are 18 or 19 because you can leave an imprint on them?
No, when I say leave an imprint, I mean that. It's, you
Gotcha. You got triggered. You go, gotcha, bitch. You got triggered. You go caught. You got caught. You got
I'm
caught.
not trying to say that.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. That's what you're trying to say. Because in actual fact, it is true. More impressionable. You can then, if you're a good person and you have, good life experience, good lessons to teach, those lessons will then translate better. But again, there's a study that came out that in the last 250,000 years, Most relationships between men and women, the man has been typically 7 to 8 years older than the woman. So take that as you will.
If you meet a girl who's 22 and you're her second boyfriend.
And the average age of people becoming parents, men would have been 30.5 or something like that, and then women would have been like 22, 23.5, somewhere around there.
Friend, she's probably like a nicer person, less jaded, less upset.
That is also
less
true.
Suspicious.
But both are
She
true.
likes to be in a position of power.
It's not being in a position of power.
It is. Yes, it is. And it's true. He wants that.
I enjoy to show her amazing things. You're trying to attach things to the situation which aren't true.
No, but it is true because you are in the position of power. If you are if you take it like African mindset, if you are the leader of the household, you are in the position of power in that household. Essentially, what that person says goes. If it's really that like deep, obviously you take into consideration what the people in your household are saying. Same way with presidents and whatever, schools, they take in consideration the thoughts of the students. Your parents take in consideration the thoughts of their kids, but at the end of the day they make the decision. So it's the same situation in between that relationship if it is a traditional relationship. And in sense, you do have the power, so I don't know why you're trying to evade that topic, but just say it as it is, man. Like, it's not even controversial like that. Like, that's what it is. That's what you want. It is what it is.
You said rape is a terrible thing, but if you put yourself in a position to be raped, then you should bear some responsibility for that.
Okay, so first, we agree that rape is a terrible thing. The point I'm trying to make is the best way to prevent yourself from being raped is to have a degree of personal responsibility and not put yourself in positions to be raped.
Same thing with physical, like putting yourself in situations that could cause physical harm unto yourself, even as a man. So you will never catch me in London in some shady neighborhoods. No chance, no way. Even if it means I have to take the longer route, I 100% will take the longer route because I know people getting stabbed in London and I ain't trying to be a statistic. So allow that. So again, you have to be really smart, especially nowadays. You've got all these modern conventions, geotagging, letting people know your location. You can get a little chip that has a tracker on it, give it to a trusted family member. Give the app to family member who can track your every location, Like, there is so many ways you can, keep track of yourself and help people in the case you go missing or something to find you. So, you got to take some responsibility and make sure you are the safest you can be as possible. But obviously, even if you take all things into consideration, there'll be times when, things go wrong. And when things go wrong, that's not your fault. But, you try to mitigate the risks as much as you did. And, sometimes shit happens, but you're on the right foot if you're trying to do all those things. Like, keep yourself as safe as possible. Keep yourself, not falling into, certain pitfalls that other people may fall into.
To standing there saying that rape shouldn't happen or men raise our boys better. You know what else shouldn't happen? Robbery.
That's the thing as well. Like, it's like people already, like, it's not like people in households are raising people to be criminals, but at the same time, like, those people will be there because either lacking in that aspect, whether it be money, financial, relationships, they'll resort to dubious means. So, again, or some people are just mentally ill and sick, and that's what's happening in their brain. Like, it's crazy. But, you know what I mean? Like, these are multivariate situations, so, yeah, it's a tough one.
I want the freedom to walk down the road with $1 million in cash.
Is it fair to compare the desire to walk around with £1 million in cash to someone wanting to just walk around their own city at night?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is the safest the world has ever been in the time span of humanity. Neil deGrasse Tyson says this too. This is the most advanced we have ever been. This is the most liberal we have ever been in humanity in this time. But shit will still go wrong. So you have to make sure that you are putting yourselves in positions to succeed and to not be victims.
Well, female beauty is extremely valuable.
Of course, female
Let's try to really ask the
is
questions.
extremely valuable in the eyes of men who seek to exploit it.
Well, yes, some, yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I love how he said just men in general, not some. Because again, the majority of people are just living day-to-day lives with a wife, girlfriend, and whatnot, and going on. But man had to put it under the umbrella of like everyone. Yeah, fair enough, man. The hit piece is mad, you know. It's mad.
Having sex with beautiful women. I fuck them so they listen to me.
Well,
so I can get what I actually want.
Control,
which is
power.
Not them. It's a means to an end.
Yeah.
Every single Bond girl was exploited. That's exactly what I do.
Have you heard the
Self-sufficient
term lover boy before?
But then again, he could lean on it's a character because he exonerated him earlier, saying that he broke character.
The lover boy method.
Yeah.
Matt saved this guy.
Involving yourself with a woman and
Mad.
then making money off of her in some sort of sex-adjacent industry.
Firstly, I would call the webcam industry far closer to psychology than sex. The webcam industry has prevented more male suicide than any group of therapists,
I could see
any
that.
action group, any charity ever would, right?
Is that true? How can you measure that?
But yeah, that's the hard part. You can't really measure it. But I would say that it definitely has done some good for a lot of people. So who knows, a lot of venting or whatnot.
Well, it's not about measuring, it's about my personal experience.
One of the concerns that people have about that lover boy method is that
let me correct you, because I'm a professional.
Is that it's similar to, or people might consider that a form of grooming.
Okay, so I'm a professional, so I have to change what you just said. I have to at least challenge you on it. Nobody's concerned about anything that happened 10 years ago when a bunch of girls got rich. There's not a single female complaining.
Do you think there's not a single female complaining?
Wait, let me go back.
Let me correct you, because I'm a professional.
Is that it's similar people have about that.
Okay, no, it's not about measuring, it's about my personal experience.
One of the concerns that people have about that lover boy method is that
let me correct you, because I'm a professional.
Is that it's similar to, or people might consider that a form of grooming.
Okay, so I'm a professional, so I have to
100%.
Change what you just said. I have to at least challenge you on it.
They might consider it that, yeah.
But anything that happened 10 years
ago. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's such in this world, man, and it's kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this, but there's a small margin between, convincing, manipulation, persuasion, like asking people to do something for you. Like, a lot of people manipulate people unintentionally, and that's okay. And then the people who do it intentionally, that's not okay. That's I think that's what I've understood from the world at this point, is people who are not aware of themselves and not aware of social dynamics and who do things manipulation-wise unintentionally, they are okay. But people who actually do it purposefully, that's not okay, because then they're in a position of power and it's almost seen as like they're preying on someone. Well,
girls
good
got
point.
rich. There's not a single female complaining.
Do you think there's not a single female complaining?
Have you seen one? Tell me.
That's a tale right there of nervousness. Man struggling with his beard. He's like, I hope there's not one. I hope there's not one. Who knows?
Andrew says no woman has complained about him personally. He won't let us speak to the women who work for him, so for now it's difficult to verify this claim. But I have spoken to many women who complain about the effect Andrew's rhetoric is having on their lives. To protect them from harassment, I've agreed not to name them.
My ex-boyfriend was radicalized by Andrew Tate to the point of threatening to release revenge porn unless I took back what I said on social media against his sexist, misogynistic views.
Wow. That is wild. But again, like, wait, wow. Yeah, that's a felony, bro. That's a felony. That's mad. And this is what I'm saying. I'm so lost here. How we've got to this point in the world where everything is misogyny this, misogyny that, and misandry this, misandry that. Like, bro, it's like the great division. The people in power, man, they are really having a good time up there, man. Watching the ants squabble amongst themselves the way people are these days.
Things that he's spreading. The scariest thing is, I have no idea if the next guy I meet could be an Andrew Tate fan. As a teacher, it's definitely worrisome. There are boys who look up to him, especially those.
This is what I'm saying. This is why you have to love people like Bruce Lee, who said, there is commendable things in most people, lessons you can learn from most people. Take the lessons that enrich your life, use those, and everything else that will be a hindrance to you, discard it, because you don't need it. So only take what is essential for you to make yourself successful, be it, make sure on your purpose, making sure you're going to the gym, making sure, you're eating right, making sure you learn how to fight, making sure you know, invest in your knowledge, invest in your development as a human being, making sure you're doing your best in your fields, whether that be engineering, biology, whatever, STEM, who cares? Make sure you try to be the best in those areas. Take that away. Everything else, leave it.
Maybe vulnerable and they're sort of going to go into the real world carrying those violent views with them.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. Now you have dudes out here thinking like they're victims. Oh, the world's out to get us. Oh no, we are looked at as this and that and that. We're victims. We're victims, bro. Just learn how the world works. Learn how the world works. Learn the rules. Learn how to move and move through it the best you can to achieve your goals as a human being. That's what you should do. Fuck it.
I'm 14. The boys at school my age think that it's okay to say horrible things like women are men's property and they can do what they want with them. Makes me really disappointed in my generation.
Andrew's views represent a new era in modern misogyny.
Start talking to some bitches. Say, me and my man are gonna fuck you.
Where you can now not only talk openly about subjugating and objectifying women, but doing so actually garners millions of committed fans.
They don't believe the level that you could.
I think this is it's interesting because again this speaks to the psychology of men in the fact that this individual seems to have it so easy, everything on easy mode, in terms of, he just says things and things happen for him and he can be who he is and he still gets what he wants. So they feel like, oh, I can just say these things and also get what I want, but they don't realize that you have to be at that level to be able to do these things. And even when you get to that level, do you really want to do those things, or is it just the flex that you can do these things? It's mad.
The most hardcore of them have traveled here to Romania to join the War Room.
The War Room is a fraternity. We're a brotherhood which is designed to inspire the best from our brothers. They have to have the mentality and the pedigree to survive. There's tests, and if you do them, you can stay inside.
At the top of Andrew's fraternity is a small group of wealthy and powerful men who all stand to gain significantly from the expansion of his empire. This inner circle is not happy that I'm here. After our testy exchange this morning, Andrew invites me to watch him train.
Have you ever boxed before?
No. But it turns out he's planning on teaching me a lesson.
Who's got spare gloves? You know,
There you go. I appear to have unintentionally walked into a situation where Andrew Tate is going to train
Oh, here we go.
box.
Punch me.
Man, it's like, this is so funny because I could imagine Matt Shea going back to, you guys have seen the movie 300, going back to Spartan times and living like they did. This guy would be complaining the whole way through. The whole way through. The whole way through.
Punch me. Knock out. Oh, look, you're bleeding already. It's only round one. We've only warmed up. Keep it on, bro. We've got 10 more rounds.
No, in the way.
I meet and get punched in the face by the inner circle of the War Room. In the world Andrew is creating, not only are women to be subjugated...
Bruh, it's subjugated. We just forget the part about providing for and taking care of and willing to die for, and we just jump to subjugation.
Sorry,
It's mad. It's mad. This is, and the hip piece is doing its job, man.
I feel like I got knocked out. But men defined by their capacity to inflict violence.
Because at the end of the day, if shit hits the fan, that's what happens. If you live in a household, yeah, where when shit hits the fan, you don't have the capacity to defend your household, be it by fighting, by using weaponry, you are fucked and you will fail your family. Your kids, your wife, they will die. So learning to protect yourself via combat, martial arts, discipline, those who learn to be disciplined through martial arts are the least violent people. Those are the people who know the damage that could be done by engaging in a fight. Those are the people who are first to try and de-escalate a situation before it gets to the extreme escalation, because they know of the damage that could be caused if an actual fight ensues. The possibility of death. People who do martial arts and learn through combat, through fighting. They understand that, yo, this stuff I'm learning could hurt someone. So the best thing they do is they try and de-escalate. So for him to sit here and say defined by violence, bro, come on, bro. This is crazy.
Okay. Tap out.
You stopped. You were like, all right, pause, time out. Like, if that were happening in a street fight, would someone stop?
Exactly.
So that's your reaction. I need to fight back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
This is exactly what... Bro, if someone's trying to run up on you and you're with people you care about and you're not willing to give them the time to escape or the time to da-da-da by standing your ground and defending them, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to run first? Leave them behind? Bro, come on. If this is what the world is coming to, bro, that's some crazy shit. Mama didn't raise no fool. Mama didn't raise no punk who's going to run away when some conflict arises. You know, you try and de-escalate the best you can, try and avoid the conflict. But if it comes knocking on your door, you better be ready. Because if you're not ready, and what? This is what I'm saying. People almost forget that the world is a cold place. They feel like it's this lovey-dovey place and it's all sunshine and rainbows. When shit hits the fan, it hits the fan. And you best believe you best be prepared for any eventuality. That's what smart people do. They prepare for any eventuality. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. This dude does MMA training. Is he some violent individual? Bro, get out of here. Get out of here. Craziness.
The War Room is a network. We have 10 meetings a year. The next one's going to be in the mountains of Transylvania. You could do it,
Dracula.
but I don't know,
blah,
friend,
blah,
if you're prepared.
We've left Bucharest and we're driving into the Carpathian Mountains to meet Andrew and his inner circle for the War Room, which is going to involve something called the Test. I've made it into Andrew Tate's War Room, where 100 of his biggest fans have flown in from all across the world, each paying $5,000 to have their manhood tested by the one they refer to as Commander. None of us know what he has in store.
I welcome you all to the test. There is a cage fighting event, and every single one of you has been paired against a professional fighter. You will fight in the cage on national television, and it's a real fight. There are two paths you can go down. You can agree to fight, or you can decide that it's not for you. You have 1 hour to think and make a decision.
That's going to be a hard no from me. Maybe I'll do a yes, just to learn a little bit more of what happens, and then definitely pull out at some point.
Does anyone have any questions to ask me? There's no training before this fight. If you've been walking through life too lazy to train, is that your problem or my problem?
That's your problem.
I couldn't help overhearing some disagreement within the war room.
Iggy wants to talk to you, wink, wink.
Iggy.
What the hell are you doing? What's
It's gonna be fine, bro. We have an ambulance, we have medics. No one knocked out.
They didn't even clue him in. He's like, what's going on?
Don't worry about it.
At the center of it all was Andrew's right-hand man, Iggy Semmelweis.
Here I will share with you my secrets.
He's the self-proclaimed greatest hypnotist in the world.
Oh, this shit crazy. This shit crazy.
Hypnosis.
And seemed to have an agenda that expanded beyond the war room itself into something larger and darker.
Darker? What is the darker part?
Your sons will marry their daughters. Your daughters will marry their sons.
Well, your sons will marry their daughters. Your daughters will marry their sons. So I'm assuming what he means by this is members of the war room. They will keep their bloodlines connected through, you know, people in the war room, like almost like super secret society vibes. You know what I mean? Like we marry in the secret society. You know, so everyone keeps the same mentalities and mindsets with the wealth, so that when going forward, that wealth stays within the society. You know. So he's basically trying to make his own, you know, Illuminati, but without the evil and blood sacrifices and whatnot. Yeah, pretty much. Seems like it.
You will create legacies. Enjoying those juicy steaks, that finer scotch, those smoother cigars.
He refused to speak to us, but it's clear that he has a big role to play in whatever the war room's real agenda is.
This is the war room of Andrew Tate.
Welcome to the test.
Now is decision time. You are getting in the cage to fight a professional fighter who is trained to hurt you. Anyone who is fighting, please stand up. Anyone who is not fighting, you can stay seated, and we will begin the other program.
Just like that, a third of the room decides to get beaten up for Andrew Tate.
What happens to the people who said no?
Bro, it's not for this is when I said for Andrew Tate, it's not to get beaten up for him, it's to go into a fight so that you're prepared for the eventualities and the realities of the world. So you know where you stand in comparison to people who are trained to do this. So that when you go back outside in the outside world, you are humbled, you understand your position, you try to make yourself better in terms of, you know, being a physical specimen and getting your combat ability up. So that you can better protect those you love.
No. They're doing something slightly different. Describing
The shade is crazy.
How that affects their life as a whole.
But yeah, the Iggy man, I don't know about that hypnotizing shit. Bruh. That shit don't even work that well, so throw me a study. It works. I can imagine people in the comments. It works. Okay, cool, bro. Cool story, bro.
Whether they're gonna make any changes in the future to be more ready for opportunities. That's where honor comes from, right? From victory.
One of the men who said no agrees to speak to us as long as we hide his face.
Why did you say no?
I have been in the ring before, but just sparring. But I was like professionals and Russians, like they guys are serious. I was just too scared. So then afterwards, I felt bad about myself, and I was angry at myself because I came here to be tested.
Andrew Tate has obviously said a lot of kind of.
And you realize you're bitch made.
What do you think about that?
A lot of things are very controversial, but I think the bottom of his message is a very, very positive one.
That's
because
true.
if I'm not tough on myself, nobody else will be. Nobody really cares about me if I don't care about me, right? That's what I learned from Andrew Tate.
People who decided this morning.
That's the
people
truth.
Who decided at a later date here, please.
We have a chaperone following us. We've been told that we're not allowed to talk to anyone. What about in passing, asking people like, what single question?
Let me run this by Tate before we film.
Sartorial.
Okay, all right. Would you be up for that?
You know his voice anyway, bro.
Yeah.
Our chaperone vets who we speak to and tries to heavily control our questions.
What do you do?
Show that you're not some sort of right-wing extremist for this.
Why did you join the war?
I don't want to be stagnant. I need to grow. It's just a fundamental shift in my mindset. What I think could be bad is always good. Before the war room, I used to think, why is this happening to me? Now, what is this trying to like teach me?
About Andrew.
You see that different in mindset? When bad things happen to people, most people think, oh no, why does this always happen to me? It's always me. Yeah, I've got bad luck. You know, the world hates me. But when the shift happens of, there's a lesson here. Let me try and find it. That helps your mindset in the long run, because when you enter moments of stress and moments of uncertainty, those are the moments when you have to be brave. That's the time when your bravery shines most, because that's when you're tested. And if you rise up to the occasion, your mentality will go up with that if you meet that occasion. If you rise to the occasion, essentially.
Things he says online, the things that get him negative publicity. Yeah. What do you think about those things?
I think he's speaking the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
Say, okay, you can say like the majority of what he says is okay, but there's a small portion which I'm also like, come on now.
Interviewing under the chaperone's supervision is proving restrictive.
Yeah?
No alpha craziness. He's an animal, this one.
So we can't speak to anyone?
Okay.
Who is this mysterious chaperone anyway?
Hey, man.
Man, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, man.
I was wondering if we could have a little chat.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah?
good. Suits me, man. Brought over from Dubai.
Like most war room leaders, he has a sports car.
Do you want to do the interview in here?
And there's a study that came out saying that people who drive sports cars have a higher likelihood of having a small penis, and that is not even that's not even something I would be surprised about, because I'm assuming people who are not well endowed would be more worried about ascertaining other aspects that allow them to attain, relationships, such as improving their status and improving their wealth and their resources.
Yeah, I don't see why not, man.
And like most people with a sports car, he's keen to show it off.
So, what do they call you?
In these circles, sartorial or the sartorial shooter.
I'm one of the guys who manages organisational risk and security for the War Room. So anyone with any criminal activity, maybe they are showing signs of being racist or sexist or any of these sorts of things, they're out straight away. We will not tolerate that.
And so how do you reconcile that with some of the things that Andrew, for example, says online?
Any claims of misogyny or the fact that he's, spreading hateful words, that's not the reality of who he is, and that's not what the War Room stands for, and that's not what he stands for. There are many clips of him out there saying, I'm not a misogynist, I provide for my women, I would stand up for my women in a violent situation.
What do you think his detractors would say about, for example, what you just said, the phrase, my woman? Do you think that they would consider that to be misogynist?
The phrase, my woman, for me ties into the very traditional value.
And this is the thing, like, it may seem like I'm being cold whenever I'm watching this, but I'm trying to be as objective as possible. If I bring emotion into this, it then gets distorted to becoming biased. So I'm trying to just keep it, narrow-minded. Thank you, Destiny, for allowing us to, watch and keep it narrow. Stop trying to, think about my feelings and no. Let's look at it objectively, see everything as is being said, and not conflate with emotions.
Values that we have.
Andrew's well known for talking a lot about his multiple girlfriends. How does that tie into this idea of a traditional relationship?
Men at certain levels can provide for multiple women.
That's true.
Even we can go back 100 years ago. Kings, wealthy men, they would support multiple families. How is that a bad thing? It's only very recently that men and women have been competing in pretty much in masculine realms, in work, in career. Not that long ago, and indeed in many cultures around the world, women still have the traditional gender norms. And we believe in the War Room, that's what leads to happiness.
Rather than...
Again, this is... I can't say that for obviously... You can say it for the majority, but there's obviously a select few who do not want to end up in, to live that life, that traditional lifestyle. So that want to live, the new modern lifestyle, which is, 50-50, equal partnership, or the inverse version of that, where the woman's the leader in the household, she's the breadwinner, the man is kind of lagging behind, and he takes care more of the household responsibilities. For me, as long as you understand the relationship you want and you find the person who complements the relationship you want, live your best life. That's what it should be about.
Or, like you have, your own agency in the world.
If you, as a dude, want to be leading a relationship, find someone who's looking for a leader in the relationship. If you want to be the one in the background, find someone who wants to, a woman who is a leader and has more masculine traits and wants to be at the forefront of the relationship. And have your fun. If you want 50-50 equal partnership, find someone who wants 50-50 equal partnership and live your life.
To pursue your own goals.
The women who I know who are most fulfilled in life are not trying to do the things that traditionally men used to do.
What about a situation where...
I would agree to accept that the majority would not be happy with that lifestyle. They're just acquiring resources and, going on holidays and whatnot. Eventually it will start to weigh on you when you see all your friends having children and having happy lives and going to soccer games with their kids and recitals, and you're just over there like, There are stages to this game called life, and again, it's a natural evolution to go through those different cycles where you become, a teenager, you start to realize what the world is about, you become an adult, you have kids, you raise those kids to be exemplary members of society, and then, you go into your phase of where you sit upon the hill and look upon your progeny as they go out into the world and, you hope, spread positivity and do well for your name and your family.
Where this has just popped into my head, where I want my girlfriend, who I love, to be a kept woman, but she doesn't. She wants.
He's complicated. He's long in it. He's long in it.
Then find a different woman.
He's long in it. He's really long in it.
Very simple.
Yeah. He's like, wow, interesting. So you just find someone else. Wow. Yeah, man. If you don't align on the things you guys want out of the relationship, if you don't align and don't have a common goals for what you want out of the relationship, then, find someone else.
The core belief driving the War Room and what men here are seeking is a misogynist fantasy of a time when they were kings and women were subjugated.
Yee.
It's at the heart of what Andrew Tate is selling.
Bruh, it's mad.
Look at the tweets of Iggy Semmelweis, his second in command. My webcam girl is home 100% of the time, has no time nor interest in going out. She sleeps, cooks, cleans, does her shows, gives me all the money, gets railed by me and our girlfriends, then smiles, thanks me, and goes and does it again tomorrow. Welcome to the war room.
Right. That's what if that's what they want to do, and they're happy doing that, and it's all fine, you know, consensual, nothing crazy going on. Live your life.
Room of Andrew Tate.
If it's criminal, lock the door, the gate, the cell door, lock the key, throw it away, live your best life in jail.
Now, it's quite possible this next story has passed some of you by, but you would be in a minority.
As the war room members and I are bussed to the fight location,
Sorry, my bad.
Talk about Tate with a new intensity.
He is a 35-year-old influencer who's been accused of spreading rape
openly
culture.
condones and celebrates violence against women.
Hitting women. Kids are acting like the things that he's saying is like revolutionary.
It's not revolutionary, bro.
Please stop looking up to Andrew Tate. He is a bad guy.
With the PR crisis going on, Andrew's team are eager for some good press, so they send an extra-friendly chaperone to sell me on the benefits of the war room experience.
I'm Alpha Wolf.
Okay.
My role is to be Alpha Wolf.
Okay, fair enough.
Life is all about how you deal with the pain and how you move forward.
Facts.
You're going to learn a lot about yourself as a man, so take it, make the best out of it, and grow as a man and be tough.
All of the men in this room seem to be taking this incredibly seriously.
What's your well, obviously. You want to fight, bro. Why are you gonna take it seriously? What the fuck? What the hell?
To come right here in a cage. If any one of them win one fight, is gonna win all their money, all their girls.
This is the culmination of Andrew Tate's pressure cooker of male insecurity.
You're fucking broke. You are poor. I'm the only guy on this platform flying out of private jets with 20.
See, again, this is a classic copy tactic, copy method that allows people to make conversions and using copy, and this is basically the selling the lifestyle. So you're basically selling someone's essentially their dream outcome of where they see themselves versus where they are. So you're trying to sell the dream outcome where they could get to, but you want to make them see and feel their inadequacy in their current position so that they feel an almost disdain for the position they're in, which allows them to propel themselves forward to get out of that and get themselves in a better position. And you do that by offering them a method to do that, to bridge that gap and make that gap smaller, to say, look, you're broke here, you're brokey, you ain't got shit going for you, but you could be this, big G, top G, whatever, and all you have to do in between this gap is take the time to buy the course, Hustlers University or whatever, do this, do that, do this, do that, and that will make sure that you can get the skills available to help you get the clientele, get the money going, to get yourself to where you see yourself and where you want to be. Fitness people do this all the time as well. Are you losing motivation? Do you feel yourself losing, the motivation to go to the gym? Well, it's not your fault. It's because of this one thing. And they give you this mystery solution that can solve your problems. And again, these things don't usually solve your problems, but they help you put you on the right track. Same with this. It's just using a common method in copy. Something used by most advertisers who advertise everything, whether it be plain, Fly with Virgin Media or Virgin Atlantic or whatever. Fly with Virgin Media. Fly with Virgin Atlantic, watch Sky TV, come shop here. Why you need to buy this, buy the Toyota because it's this, that. Like, it's marketing. If you're this type of person, you need to get this type of car. It's all marketing. And it's done very well. And again, marketing plays on where you are, where you want to be, and how to get you there in an affordable manner.
27 cars, living this lifestyle. Most of you are not too stupid.
So this is basic stuff.
Are you ready? Round one.
But while they come forward to gratefully take the beatings they've paid thousands of dollars for,
You're here to lose a little bit of blood.
Andrew Tate's future on social media is hanging in the balance.
Oh.
And the public backlash is spreading. I'm desperate to ask him about all of this, but first I have to get through this ridiculous situation that I've found myself in.
Alright, let's go.
Hey, props. Props for actually getting in there, man. Props for getting in there, man, and actually fighting, man. That's crazy.
I know he's gonna lose, but wow.
And this is the problem, man. There is no self-defense. Man said, put your dukes up.
Whatever's going on behind the scenes,
no head movement.
Watching me get chased around puts a
technique
smile
is
on
just
his face.
not there. Again, this is what I'm saying. What you get? No. You're getting it wrong, man. Hold on, let's get this
Whatever's
right.
going on behind the scenes, watching me get chased around puts a smile on Andrew's face.
It's because you're actually embracing the challenge. That's what's putting a smile on man's face. It's the fact that you actually sacked up and you went in there and said, I'm going to do it. Knowing you're going to lose, you did it anyway. To gain the experience, to gain the knowledge. That's what makes man happy. But see? Well done. Well done. They are proud of my man for doing this. And man wants to spin it, they take joy in me getting beat up, bro. Come on now. See? Won him over. Bro, they like you now. He did it.
Those who went all in on their fight came out badly. One man was knocked out and taken away on a stretcher. The inner circle had put these men through collective hardship and recreated them in Andrew Tate's image. Fighters.
Come here, guys. Come on to the front.
So every fighter now is like, come on now.
His hand on your head.
Good writing, though.
You're
Good
fine.
writing.
So you win.
But they also joined a movement that was widely accused of normalizing sexism and rape culture. While the men who chose to fight are paraded in front of the crowd, Andrew's team shamed those who refused.
The shaming hold on to it.
Bro, it's not shaming you. It's it's making you realize the opportunity you missed, because you see the elation of those people who actually did that, who challenged themselves. You can feel that they feel better about themselves, like I actually got in there and I did something. And the people who are there, they feel that naturally already. But it's just telling you, like, look, that feeling you feel, hold it close to you so you can allow it to propel you forward next time an opportunity arises. So you feel that discomfort of, I did this before, I don't want to do it again. That's the same. For anyone to ever move out of any situation, that situation has to be uncomfortable for you. That situation has to be unbearable for you to move into the next phase. If you're comfortable, you're not gonna, there is no way you're gonna move upward and forward if you're comfortable. No way. Same with the gym. If you're not progressively overloading, you're not gonna make gains. It's simple. If you're constantly comfortable in the gym, you stay stagnant. You stay at maintenance. But if you want to make progression, you have to progressively overload, make things harder, challenge yourself. And that's the thing. That shame, as it builds, you start to feel inadequate and you want to challenge yourself even more at the end of the day. And hey, call it shame, call it whatever. They're going to feel it anyway. They're just saying, look, don't make it make you feel bad, but embrace it and make that fuel you to go do the thing next time.
Don't let it go. So anyone who fought, put your hand up. How the experience was, how it's going to change your life, and if you have anything to say to the people who didn't fight.
I don't think I have any word of advice for the people that didn't do it, except that you should have probably.
You want to check on me? I'm thinking, I want to go train because I feel like inadequate, right? So
yeah,
that's what I want to do.
Right now, I have new mountains to climb.
See?
And I'd love to get back here a year from now.
New goals.
And go to the gym of the guy who beat the shit out of me. Didn't it feel like a movie the last few days? I feel like that's a great metaphor for life.
We shouldn't be slaves. We shouldn't be working 9-to-5 jobs. We should actually make our lives into, I guess, a movie.
I want to be known as one of the best fathers in the war room. I can't look at my sons and tell them to suck it up, Buttercup, if I don't say yes to this.
Yeah, makes sense.
You can't impart wisdom and knowledge on things you haven't really been through. You can, but it's going to seem inauthentic. That passion is going to be lacking. That feeling that you've been there, you know the trials and tribulations of people in those positions. You would lack that empathy.
Whether or not they fought, all the men here paid $5,000 to the only real winner in this performance, Andrew Tate.
He's winning though. He's winning. He's winning.
There's some chicks, don't know where they're from. Yeah, let's have fun. I hope you all enjoyed it.
That's wild. That's where it's like, where did they come from? What are they doing here? Are they paid? What's going on? Sus.
We're told not to film the celebrations that conclude the evening, and it's not clear exactly what goes on.
Yeah, what's going on?
Once outside the lobby, we could clearly see a room containing naked women being photographed.
Sus.
With Andrew's team increasingly conscious of negative publicity, tonight could be the last chance to interview him.
Do you consider the possibility that some of the things that you've said, which have been viewed 11 billion times, may lead to an attitude towards women that could be harmful?
I accept that across all of that viewership, I have perhaps, possibly, maybe said one thing, or maybe two, that has upset a large range of people.
Wouldn't it make sense to just apologize for some of the things you've said, acknowledge that they have caused harm, and say
he's
that you
acknowledged,
won't
of
say
course,
those
harm.
things again?
No,
but he's not going to apologize.
I'm not going to apologize for the
That's
edits
mad.
of other people. I'm not going to apologize for the misunderstandings of other people. There's a whole bunch of clips people are making which make me look very bad. That's not good for my life. That's not good for business.
The clips that portray you in a negative light also help the algorithm to make you become more famous and more viral.
I'm not an expert on algorithms for social media platforms. I do not have most of them installed on my phone. I cannot control what a 15-year-old Singaporean decides to do when he chops me up and calls me names. I can't control that, and I wouldn't try to.
There has been a lot of bad press about you. That's made some nervousness within members of the war, and why is that?
Well, obviously, when people are going to continue to lie and continue to do very, very shallow, very, very fictitious investigations, people are going to lose faith in you. The media has lost all credibility because you do not try and portray the truth anymore.
One thing that...
And that's the thing you notice here, like the angle in all this, him being at this event, doing the training and all this stuff, it's all from a negative light, like, oh, look at them trying to da-da-da-da. Like, there's little glimpses of positivity, but there's not a point at which Matt himself says, wow, this is actually really good that they're doing this to try and help their mindset and, you know, help themselves learn how to be, you know, combat ready just in case shit goes down, because you never know when a war will rise and you might need to be drafted to the army. Who knows? You know, look at Ukraine's situation now. People are here fighting for their lives. So who knows when that could be you next? And if you're not prepared, you're finished. This is what I'm saying. Like, none of that is being said here. None of that is being. No credit is given where credit is due. It is a pure hit piece, and bro, they're nailing the hit piece aspect
for example,
of it.
is when we often do documentaries, we have full access to speak to
it's a hit
anyone
piece.
we want.
So.
But in this documentary, we're very closely watched by the sartorial shooter, Alpha Wolf, picking who we can speak to, you know, monitoring the interview. What is it that you're worried that we're going to find out?
These questions are so low.
This is low.
I think it's not what you're worried to find out. It's about how you're going to frame your questions and how you're going to ask leading questions in order to make people arrive to a conclusion. A guy who's very good at this, leading questions, it's complicated. If you guys have seen the It's Complicated channel, check it out on YouTube. But he asks questions in such a way that leads you to the necessary conclusion. And if you don't arrive at that conclusion, you look kind of stupid. So I think that's why they don't allow him to interview other people. Because if you're not really socially savvy and you don't understand, you know, the tactics and questioning styles that most interviews use to get the story they want and the kind of narrative they want out of it, then you're you know you're basically setting yourself up for failure. Essentially,
it's low. We let you in. We tried to take care of you, and you're sitting here and just attacking us for 3 hours, bro.
The world is asking these questions, and the viewers will be asking these questions.
It's a consistent leading question, a consistent narrative. Where's the question about the good he's doing for men?
Yeah.
Very clear narrative. I need to leave.
In the days afterwards, Tate is banned from YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, to the protest of his fans.
They have shut us down. This is warfare against the West.
For a moment, it seems the deplatforming has worked. But then, he reappears on Instagram with an emoji covering his face.
You're lost. You understand you're living inside of a mechanism which is designed to control you, but you don't.
He moves to Dubai, converts to Islam, sets up a new bank entirely owned by him, and rebrands the Hustlers University as the real world. In the first month after being deplatformed, he made $11 million and got 250 million views on TikTok alone. Months later, Elon Musk reinstates his Twitter account and he gains 1 million followers in 24 hours.
Jeez.
I have no criminal charges. There's no charges at all against me. I have not hurt any women. No women are coming forward saying Andrew hit me. Zero.
Andrew maintains that he has never abused a woman. But when we get back from Romania, we finally manage to speak to some women from his past.
A big thing that upset me a lot was everyone saying it's a character, it's a character, it's a character, when I know it's not.
To suddenly see him pop up on TikTok just made me really angry. Because people don't know what he's done.
The final phase is about to go down.
Amelia began seeing Andrew in 2013. Due to fear of harassment from his fans, she is withholding her real name.
I always knew, even back in the day, there was always things said bad about him. But when I'd seen him again in 2013, I thought, oh, all these rumours about him may be false because he's actually been really lovely. The first time I went round his house, because before it was like maybe 3-4 times we'd gone on dates, we started to make out on the bed. Out of the blue, he literally just stopped what he was doing and just laid back. He said, I'm just contemplating whether I should rape you or not. And I promise you, within an instant, he changed.
Really?
He just jumped straight on top of me, grabbed my throat, started suffocating me, strangling me. The more I didn't want to, it made him so much more aggressive to the point where he was pinning me down, hurting me. The things he was saying to me, he was like...
We're going to get to this because F&F covered it and I saw their stream where they talked about some of these things and they have the text chain from with Amelia and the fact... Anyway, let's proceed.
Who do you belong to?
We'll get there.
Who do you belong to? And
it doesn't seem out of character though.
It hurt me. So I couldn't see an escape. And at that point, I just gave up.
Wait, hold on.
So I couldn't see an escape. And at that point, I just gave up. I just gave up. And then when it stopped, he went to the bathroom and acted as if it was normal. So I'm like, maybe I did. Did I want it? Did I not? I definitely said to him, please don't, and he told me, shut the fuck up. Definitely got strangled. I definitely didn't want it. Did he think I wanted it? And you look back, the psychological warfare you have with yourself is like you couldn't even imagine. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't understand it unless you've been through it. Can't even say the damn word.
Have you since come to terms with the notion that that may not have been consensual, that may have been...
I know for a fact it wasn't consensual.
But
she said it with her chest real quick.
The word.
Even though I know technically it's true, that did happen, that is what happened to me, I still don't like vocalizing it.
Amelia's method of coping with the alleged rapes was to pretend to herself that it was a normal relationship.
The abuse wasn't consensual because he knew I didn't want it, which he confirms in multiple voice messages and texts to me.
Oh, here we go.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't fucking pass out. In all the women I've ever slept with, not a single one has ever bitched or complained like you are bitching and complaining now.
Every few months, Andrew would send me a different number.
Okay, so let's see here. So we have it here. Let's get the PowerPoint up. Control F5. I don't know if you guys can read that, but I'll zoom in here and read it for you. You might not be able to see my face here, but it is what it is. Here we go. Something. Because I'm a terrible person. Mr. Fucking Nice Guy. And then he says, and I loved, R-ing you and watching you let me while still debating if it's a good idea or not. I like the conflict you have, and you do have it, don't deny it. Makes you feel powerful? Question mark. I don't think so. Well, you can say it, then not see me. Andrew, you're not stupid. Why would I talk to you if I didn't want to see you? So you agree to my R, control, and all I do to you? Good. If I consent, it's not R. There you go. Like, Amelia, what are you talking about? Amelia, this is mad. This is looking mad shady right now. It's looking mad shady right now, man. This is, I don't know, man. The fact that there is also, like, again, like, obviously you can't be sure for definite. You can't be really sure. But it looks like this person's, engaging in this activity actively and saying, no, it's not, R, I'm consenting. So, bro, this is, it's crazy, man. This is a whole clusterfuck. This is why it's a problem when it's a he say, she say, and then Vice just releases that portion without context into everything that's happening around it. Like, objectively speaking, it makes sense because it's a hit piece, so it would fall into that, let's just show this one side and let's not show the other side to see what the replies were like. So it's crazy.
Message to remind me how dangerous he was.
I thought I'd remind you of the caliber of man I am. I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet.
Scare tactics to make sure I wouldn't go anywhere, go to the police.
That could be true, man. It could be true. Still,
to remind
you never know, man.
After 6 months, Amelia eventually left Andrew when she says she began to fear for her own life. In 2014, she also decided to report the incident to police, who logged it.
The year after, I got a phone call from a police officer from Hertfordshire Police. She said to me, we have 2 other girls that have come forward and said the exact same thing as you.
That's where they got him.
Would you please be
Ladies and gentlemen, we got
to
him.
come onto this investigation to make this case stronger? And without any hesitation, I said yes. And I thought, well, if there's 2 other girls, I'm not alone now. I'm not alone.
Yeah. No, that's facts.
One of those women was Sally. She was 20 when Andrew Tate approached her for webcam work. Due to fears of harassment from his fan base, she is also withholding her real name.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles.
Yeah, I've already seen
wine.
this as well.
So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous.
And again, this is one of the things that the team, Andrew's team said, 5 bottles of wine, that's enough to, down a grown man, But again, she said they bought 5 bottles of wine, not that she drank 5 bottles of wine. So keep that clear.
Then that night, we were just sitting on the bed and Andrew punched me in my arm. I went to the bathroom and cried. It really...
See, that random punch part doesn't make sense, but, for all we know, it could be true, but logically it doesn't make sense why someone random just punch you in the arm.
Really hurt to have someone just
Sweet.
hit me in the arm for no reason. I was very confused.
Yeah. I'm confused too. It sounds like the B story with... And then I stepped on a bee, but we don't know.
Sorry, I don't want to cry.
It's okay.
It hasn't gone to court yet, so shit.
Well,
it went to court. This went to court, and they dropped it. So we know that much, that there was not enough evidence for conviction and to go forward with anything tangible. But again, we can't then validate one side or the other. It's just left in limbo, But the fact that those 3 people in there, it means that there might be something. Either, they wanted to get the cash, to get money or reparations from it because they realized they're getting scammed. Because my man was a scammer. He was a scammer by his own admission, taking 70%, leaving them with 30%. So they might have realized they're getting duped. So they, come through and say, F this, we're going to report you, And that could have been the situation. Or subsequently, you could have actually done the things, and there wasn't just enough evidence to convict him. So
he was
can't speak
super,
definitively
super
on that
nice.
because we don't know,
Like,
and we'll never know.
From what I remember, Andrew didn't
'Cause
have
it's
any
a he say,
alcohol
she say.
at all. It was literally just me. That night we cuddled and we ended up having sex, and I was really, really drunk. That was my first night. Then it was kind of like every single night I would work.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
He used to strangle us as well.
See, this one is more emotional, so there's more like credence to it because you can feel the need to breathe and take breaks.
Time
you know what I mean?
When he came into the bedroom, me and the other
Who
girl,
knows?
we would sleep in the same bed with Andrew. But at this time, the girl had a pump.
But the problem is the stories are not. They don't make sense as to why the things are happening. There's no like major context around it. It feels like a lot of the interview's been taken out, so we can't really build from the scope. It's just like they're just choosing the elements they want to put in.
Partner, so she was not interested in Andrew at all. And I had gone to the shower, I came back and I noticed he was, like, I saw him raping her.
And again, this is not far from a wrong possibility because a person who seeks that much power, creating a whole organization, they might think they're untouchable, invincible, and that power might go to their head to the point where they think, I can do what I want, and I'm the smartest, as you said, I'm the smartest person, I'm a dangerous person, I'm one of the most dangerous men on the planet. Like, bro, like that seems like something that will come out of his mouth. So who knows, man? There's people saying it could be AI generated. There's a small possibility. It's probably like a 5% chance that it's actually AI generated. It seems pretty, it seems like accurate that it would be him, and the fact that people saying, the voice might be different. But taking into account this was in 2014, so the voice would have been him living in England full time, less travel than he does today. So his accent would have been more standardized to a more English accent, which it is, and he was younger, so it's less deep and less, Tate.
When he threatened to beat me up in the bathroom, and he said, I don't give a fuck if you call the police, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. That's kind of when I...
This might have been the individual in that other video where she was running into the bathroom and locking the door.
knew, I had to get out of there. I stopped working for Andrew about March, April time.
See, this one is more credible.
Police shortly after that. Nothing was done, really. The other girl that he had raped, she went to the police. And then that's when they arrested him and took him into custody for like 2 days. When Andrew was arrested, we were taken in for a proper interview, and it kind of just got left. I would send emails asking them to update, I'd hear nothing back.
When we reached out to Hertfordshire Police about this, they had this to say. We acknowledge that there were some delays to the investigation. This was addressed at the time and apologies were made. The decision to prosecute based on the police's evidence would be up to the Crown Prosecution Service.
Unfortunately, they turned around and just said, we can't continue this case anymore. It's just insufficient evidence.
You witnessed the rape occurring.
Again, prosecutors have to take into consideration that it would be time wasted if they take a case to court that has a low likelihood of success. So there was not enough evidence to constitute them taking the case to court, even though there was apparently the messages. And you see the messages, as I showed before, in the messages, it seems like, there was consent, but hey.
Not count as evidence for them?
No. They openly said it's really, really difficult to prove rape. Very difficult.
The Crown Prosecution Service said in this case we carefully reviewed all the evidence provided by the police regarding each complainant and concluded it did not meet our legal test and there was no realistic prospect of a conviction. In the UK, only 1 in 100 reported rapes result in a charge, let alone a conviction.
Mazzaline, my man just shitting on the UK. But if it's facts, it's facts, bro.
In a statement issued via his lawyer in Romania, Tate denied the assault or rape. He said, "They wanted money because I fired them. The police understood after the investigation that I am innocent, and the police found messages from the girls' phones where they were talking between themselves and planning to lie about me." Sally said the CPS sent a letter saying that one of the reasons they didn't charge Tate was because they found voice notes on our phones where we talked about whether we should tell the police that he gave us alcohol. We were talking about it because that is what happened. He used to get us drunk.
See, again, that's because the defense can use that to say, like, you know, as like, are you saying that you're going to use this as an angle to try and say, like, this is what happened, to falsify evidence, to falsify, like, this is what happened?
They
So
clearly didn't speak.
It's mad.
A text from a man to a woman saying, I love raping you, they clearly didn't speak.
That's it. Here you go. What do you get from me hating it? Because I'm a terrible person. He's a fucking nice guy. He's a fucking nice, yeah. And I love raping you. Yep. And then that's where the other message comes in. The back end of it. Bro,
Text from a man to a
people
woman
are crazy,
saying,
bro.
I love raping you. I know what I do.
Funny story. I went to university with an individual, will not be named. Actually, a couple of them had the same message, but they had our fantasies, and they wanted. One of my boys, close friends, she often told him that I want you to, you know, arm me, or at least pretend to arm me, but I give you, you know, consent to do it because I want to feel it. I'm like, bro, this is. People are crazy. People are crazy. So I don't, like, it's so hard to tell with these things because for all we know, this could have been him as an individual expressing what he likes as a kink, and then she could be like, oh, what do you get from it? And then, you know, ascertaining, okay, I give you, you know, you can do it. Cool, whatever, you can do it. So I don't know, man. This is, it's crazy. It's crazy. From the shit I've seen and the listening to this, like, that's why the prosecution was probably like, bro, there's no way to. It's hard. It will be so hard to make a case for this.
She is abusive and controlling. To CPS, apparently, I know what I do to you is abusive, man, saying I love raping
Listen.
I know.
See, there you go.
What I do to you is abusive and controlling.
See, so it's leaning into kink, but you can see right there, it says it herself. Andrew, you're not stupid. Why would I talk to you if I didn't want to see you? Like, bro, what? You're snitching on yourself. Like, you're not making any sense, man. If I said it's not rape, no. So it's laying down the grounds that this is the kink. This is the kink I want.
I know what I do to you.
This is mad. I don't know, man. You can't prove it. We need earlier context, man. We need earlier context, but they're not providing that.
Apparently, that's not enough.
Because you need more context, man. You need to get the conversation chain from its conception, from beginning to end. And the fact that you just showed that little thing, there's so many different ways of interpreting that in court.
The bravest thing I think I ever done in my life.
Fair enough, though.
Which was hell. 4 years of absolute hell. Investigation without anyone knowing, and basically I had to do it alone.
Talk to your family, your parents, man. That's why you need parents. You need to be out here raising your kids to be transparent with you guys, because you don't want your kids going through shit like this by themselves, man. You need them to understand, you know, you need them to be there for you, or for you to be there for them, and that you will, you know, see them through it, whatever it is.
It was all a waste.
It's mad.
Despite repeated requests, Tate's lawyer did not provide a response to Amelia's allegations.
They didn't go anywhere. That's the thing. They didn't go anywhere.
The Romanian investigation into Andrew Tate and his brother finally led to an arrest on the 29th of December.
The Matrix has attacked me.
The Matrix has attacked
Police accused them of using the lover boy method.
Yo, man's finished. The man is finished.
Into a Romania-based webcam sex business.
Man, put that mantra up.
Similar allegations have dogged Tate for years. His followers are obsessed with the idea that the Matrix is conspiring against him. But if anyone in the story is the victim of a conspiracy, is it the multi-millionaire celebrity?
That was smart, you know, blaming the system and
the women
saying the Matrix and all that stuff. Very, very smart.
You know, you see all these young men talking about how he's such a great guy and he's their idol and stuff, and that's so difficult to see. There are better role models out there. Don't be fooled by all the money.
See, take from this individual what you will that is beneficial, the charisma, the, you know, the flair, the talking, the ability to storytell, these things will help you as an individual in the long run. But everything else that you don't need, discard it, leave it, because there's this at this point there's a small chance, there's like I would say maybe a 10% chance, man busts the case, like he doesn't, nothing happens, because the money laundering thing will get you, his own self snitching might get him, like there's so many levels to this that will probably get him. Like one of the charges will stick, and it depends what time they'll get in prison. But I'm saying anywhere from 5 to 10. 5 to 10, I think, is what they'll probably get.
And the nice cars and all the women. Working on yourself and becoming a better man and better mindset. Yeah, but real men don't lay their hands on women.
Anyway, man, that shit was crazy, man. That shit was crazy. It's hard, man, because you know it's a hit piece, so it's hard to decipher all the info. But anyway, let's go back into this and let's see here what the developing stories have been so far. So now, what we have here is that there's been raids on several other homes that are tied to him to see if they can find more information to strengthen the case. Because again, they're still in the case building stage of this case. That's why they're still holding him at the, not in actual jail like prison, but they're holding him still at the like police station or whatever. So yeah, they're still trying to build a case, and yeah, I think they're trying to find as much evidence as they can, and in the process they are taking his vehicles to try and help fund this investigation, because it might be costly. Like, yeah, this is L-Men 2023, man. L-Men 2023. And then you also found this. I found this. I wanted to add this in as well. Like the Rick and Morty co-creator Justin Roiland, charged with felony domestic violence. So taking L right there. And yeah, filmmaker Michael Bay has also been charged with killing a pigeon in Italy in 2018. L, man, this shit is crazy. 2023, L men, man, they're taking major L's. Major L's, bro. Major L's. And just to end on the Fresh and Fit clip here, this was the clip in relation to the two persons who have the Moldovan and the American individual who are claiming the charges against Andrew.
Hopefully, neither myself, Myron, Donovan, or Jonathan will ever grape a woman.
Fuck
so if you
no.
hell no.
If you hear us, then not only that them have money,
do TikTok.
Yes, May Ducey already socializing with him on Instagram, so they knew each other. Georgiana says yes, they knew each other on Instagram. Yeah, Tristan.
They're doing the Macarena. What
these chicks, and she wanted to come here to know each other better.
See, this is where they could be implementing that lover boy method in that situation. And you can see they're probably teaching them to do some stuff.
But
there.
she never said she got a relationship or anything like this. Pause.
Yeah, they're taking pictures.
So she lied.
There it is.
Making TikToks.
It said she was single. Yeah.
So the interesting thing is that you have Georgiana and Luana on there on this broadcast channel, and it seems like they're obviously defending Andrew and Tristan, but at the end of the day, they are the closest people to them in terms of females, so they might be obviously trying to cover this up as well. So you can look at this from all angles, man. But from what you're looking at on the videos, these people do not look like they're in distress. They do not look like they're being held against their will. They look like they're having a good time.
Yep. Travel to Romania.
So again, it'll be a hard sell for the like prosecution to put that in when you have contrary evidence like this to say, look at these people enjoying themselves. And at no point did they try and, escape when they have their phones on them, taking these videos and posting and whatnot. So,
herself.
But again, it could be a contingency plan to get them to make the content so that it seems more legit, like they're doing it of their own accord, but it could be under duress. But again, you don't know these things. You can't predict these things. But from optics alone, from a case building perspective, it seems like they were, having a good time, enjoying, and the fact that there might have been a lack of attention from, Andrew and or Tristan to them might have led them to feel like neglected and made them feel like, oh, why am I doing this for if I'm not going to get, anything from it? And then these guys they just used me to come here and have sex, and they don't even, I didn't want love from me, they just wanted to use me. And then that could then create that resentment that leads to a case being built up. So who knows, man? And since they were there at the same time together, they could have plotted and schemed to do this in the long run. So who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know, man. I can't speak to this anymore. We'll just wait to see what happens, man. Again, could there be biases in the court system? There could be, but since the Romanian judges have the authority and ability to keep looking to outward sources and seeing information from the outside, then they might be able to, you know, see all the sides to the case, both pro and against, and see what happens. And the fact they haven't met the prerequisite requirements for the criminal organization, knowing what every individual in the criminal organization does, you know, the only charge that I feel like would stick and is likely to stick is the one in relation to either money laundering or tax evasion. So until then, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. It has been real. It's been your boy King. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I catch you next time. Let me know what you think, and if you think man's gonna bust case. I want to know the percentage chance you think he will bust the case. He will get out scot-free and be back on the interwebs. And yeah, let's see what happens, man. Man, if you did the crime, you need to do the time, man. So if you did the crime, man, hey, he knows the consequences, and no one will tell you about personal accountability more than him, you know, Andrew himself. You know, you take accountability for your own actions. This position he is in is because of himself. It is his own fault, and he understands that. And he better hold that Quran tight while he's in prison right now or in jail, and use those five prayers a day, man, because he's going to need them when come trial. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you in a bit. And as I always say, guys, spread love, not WarCraft. I'll catch you on the next one. Subscribe.